Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Hype. I'm Tyler Two-Turnt.
And I'm Surfing Steve.
No, you can't be Surfing Steve. That's SFA's mascot.
Okay, you know what? They're actually the Lumberjacks, and Surfing Steve is a nickname to the statue of Stephen F. Austin.
Okay, I'm sorry. You still can't use it.
Yes, I can. It's easy. Wait. I'm Silver Surfing Steve.
Hey, okay.
There we go.
We can use that.
Yeah, it's nerdy.
All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Hype. We got so many things to talk about this week.
Buttload of stuff. This is like not Dead Week. This is Overload Week, really.
Yeah, DC came back and they brought us the news, man. Last week they didn't have much. Marvel took it. This week it's kind of tough to decide who's taking what. So let's go ahead and get started with DC news, man. Starting first with Batman vs. Superman, the film we are waiting for. We've got some big news here. We have some set photos. They've started building set in New Mexico.
It's
deserted land, I guess.
So it's actually a near part. It's near part of the South, and it's almost 10 miles away from the border. So I know they could have like crew issues, but honestly, I really think it's the Themyscira for.
Okay, yeah.
It has to be.
Like even the news people, the local news area there think it's not Gotham because it doesn't look very Gotham-ish.
And there's no desert in Gotham.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if they're building at least a majority, and then they're going to CGI the rest. But even then, I don't think that's what it is. So right now, it's mainly rumored that it's Themyscira, the homeland of Wonder Woman, and then there's also a rumor it could possibly be Egypt, which could entail a Shazam Black Adam fight.
Yeah.
But to me, I think that's just cramming way too many characters into this movie at this point, and they just need to limit themselves. And
yeah, they can't Gotham themselves. Gotham got lucky passing all those characters off, but
And plus, it's a TV show. I mean, this is one movie. We can't have a 5-hour movie. To be honest with you, Snyder is very well known for making long movies. So.
Yeah, and slow motion and everything else. But, it works for him. I mean, we enjoy his movies still.
Of course, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, Watchmen's still one of your favorite movies.
It is,
right?
It is. I do like it. So, yeah, that's that. I'm thinking it's more Themyscira. How do you agree, Steven?
I completely agree.
All right, so the next thing is there's been a skeptic, the same news crew or whatever from the New Mexico area where they're building said that they saw a party scene that was being filmed with, it involved Lex Luthor, which is Jesse Eisenberg. It also involved Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck, Diane, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, and Henry Cavill as Superman. And they're all not dressed up as their vigilante selves. They're dressed up as their actual selves. So,
Fancy.
Bruce, Diane, and Clark all walking into what seems to be Lex Luthor's home, which is actually technically a museum that they're using, but it's still pretty nice. It's elegant enough.
It really is, and it's massive, Jesus. I mean, if we're going to show that Lex Luthor is rich, then this is like the house to do it in. There's no other way.
Right, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now on the set of Batman vs. Superman. A Batmobile was stolen.
Who could get away with that? Seriously.
Someone who really has been planning this for a while, it seems like.
Apparently so.
So that happened, and then there was also someone, a part of the crew, leaked information about part of that scene, the party scene that Lex Luthor is hosting, and there's an altercation between Bruce and Lex that happens, and apparently Bruce is not in his Batman armor, so it's just Bruce and Lex getting into it, and there's fireworks involved. There's a lot of CGI that will be added into this scene, so we're not really sure what this is going to involve. I guess we just got to wait and see. 2016 cannot get here soon enough.
Really cannot.
And also, probably one of the biggest news that they just announced. We have a Carrie Kelly. They are bringing in Robin for Batman vs. Superman.
Which is odd, because I remember a tweet from way back in the days how they describe Batman. He's old, retired, well-seasoned hero. He's working on bat drones and not talking to Nightwing. So they've spoken about Nightwing before. So maybe we're gonna get just Carrie Kelly just being Robin, or is she gonna replace the Nightwing rumor that was out there back in the day?
Who knows? Maybe they'll touch base on Nightwing. Maybe they'll mention how he's not talking to Tim,
Bruce anymore.
Tim or
Yeah,
or Dick.
Yeah, because they both become at one point.
So, Steven, could you tell us the actress's name who is playing the lovely Carrie Kelly?
Jenna Malone. If those of you who love Hunger Games, you'll remember her as the crazy naked girl on in the
fire.
Elevator.
Yeah.
Because that booty had Peter like, what? So, I will say, my God.
If there's anything PETA knows, it's buns.
Ha ha! Get out of here.
I'm on a roll. All right, so yeah, I think it's pretty exciting that we're going to have Carrie Kelly. For those of you who don't know, Carrie Kelly is the female Robin in Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. She just comes along. She just, I don't know, Batman stumbles upon her and he kind of takes her in.
Yeah, well, she also admires him, and then she
Right.
takes on the role as Robin, saving, stopping mugging here or there, and then she follows Batman because he's driving a tank, and then she obviously follows him to the mutant camp out, takes on all the mutants, and she takes out the stragglers on the side. Then she saves him from the mutant leader beating his ass completely, and then that's when he just finally takes her in. So, honestly, I can't wait to see what else they could entail with that storyline. Maybe
course.
we can get mutants out of this or something.
So moving on, we have more information about the Sandman movie. We've mentioned this briefly before. Sandman will not be a DC film.
Yes.
It is going to be taken in by Vertigo.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't know if there's going to be a separate film company, or if this might just entail just a different. Because I really hope they don't split companies like Marvel does, but it's going to be a different movie company. We don't know if they'll be interlocked, but they will be different from the DC cinematic universe, the main cinematic universe. That's why in the lineup, which we'll speak out about later, does not have Justice League Dark or Sandman in the lineup as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. We still don't know a lot about Sandman. We don't know. I don't even think the script has been started or finished, or we don't know anything about the writing process yet. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has mentioned he will either star in it, he will direct it, or both.
Or feature it on his hit record television show, which is really
we're very interested to see what happens with that. Let's go ahead and talk about this DC movie lineup. That's probably the biggest news that got announced this week. DC has announced they have movies lined up until 2020. That's a lot of movies.
A whole buttload.
That's a whole lot of hype, if you know what I'm saying. So, Steven, do you wanna let us know about this huge lineup that we have? I don't like the face that you're giving me right now.
Okay, I can hit up this lineup. And okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, when me and Tyler first heard about this lineup, we lost our shits.
Yeah.
We did. Completely, utterly could not handle it. But of course we know Dawn of Justice will appear on March 25th, 2016. So my birthday.
We're almost there, dude. Yeah, it's Steven's birthday, so
March 26th, so that's gonna of course.
And we no longer have to choose between Captain America and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, thank God they changed that. But yeah, Suicide Squad will be in August of that same year, and then that next year, and then that next year in June, we will have a standalone Wonder Woman movie, which will either be her origin story or her continuing after the events of Dawn of Justice. Then we're gonna have then that same year we're gonna have in November Part 1 of the Justice League, which will entail everyone that we've seen in the cameo version of Dawn of Justice, but a full-on mass assault of what may happen in the storyline they choose to go on. Then that next year, in March 23rd, is going to be the Flash reveal. And that's going to be 2018 of March 23rd.
Now, they have cast Flash, and it is not Grant Gustin who is playing Barry Allen on CW's The Flash.
Which depresses me.
Who is playing The Flash, Steven?
If those of you who love Perks of Being a Wallflower, which Tyler, it's one of your favorite movies as well.
It's a great movie.
It is the gay best friend that we all know.
What's the actor's name?
Do you know the actor's name?
Is it not on the...
It is not on here. No, it is sadly not on here. But I can tell you right now, I am ecstatic about... sorry.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry about that little brain fart there. But then after that, 2 months later, actually no, a few months later, in July, we're gonna have a standalone Aquaman film, and then that next year in April 2019, we'll have Shazam, then Justice League Part 2 that following year in July. Wow, that's a big gap between Justice League movies, but
they have movies to fill in that gap.
Of course. And then we're gonna have Cyborg 2020 in April, and then also in 2020 we're gonna have a reboot of Green Lantern or a continuation of Hal Jordan Green Lantern of Ryan Reynolds, hopefully with a better director.
I'm hoping that this is a reboot. I'm hoping this is a chance for them to start over, because as far as we know, there's no mention of Green Lantern making a debut or cameo in Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. So I think this would give them a good opportunity to kind of start fresh, find a good actor, find a good director, better storyline, just a overall better choice of things.
A better choice of everything that they did wrong.
Yeah. I look at Spider-Man.
Yes.
So.
I mean, honestly though, I give my props out to Ryan Reynolds for taking on the role, because he did a fairly good job, and I know people give him crap for it, but the script really just gave out on him, and the screenwriters did. So honestly, I mean, I can't wait for a reboot of that, or a retelling of maybe Jon Stewart's.
Yeah. I think it'd be great. So with that announced, now that you know these movies that are lined up to 2020, let us know what movie you're most excited about. With Justice League being split into two parts, who knows what the story will involve, and those movies that are in between the part 1 and part 2, hopefully they'll have they'll reoccur that storyline. So that it may be more of an origin story. Who knows? So I just can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Neither can I. Dude, so excited on that. But what's our next bit of news now?
Oh, also, forgot to mention, Zack Snyder will be directing Justice League Part 1 and Part 2.
Yes, and we can trust him on big ensemble, because we saw Watchmen, and whether you loved it or you hate it, it was a visually beautiful movie.
And the actors worked well together.
Yes, they did.
They did a great job.
Yeah, they were very well. It was a good ensemble to work with. And especially with a lot of lesser B actors, But now we have some A-list actors and maybe some B-list actors and some unknowns, so we can guess for what Zack Snyder could do with a full-on cast of superpowered beings that we all know and love.
And Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill will be back for Justice League.
That's for sure.
And Amy Adams as well, so we'll see more of her character. Moving on. We are going to talk about the Suicide Squad movie. There's more news coming out about this movie. Tom Hardy, Will Smith, and Ryan Gosling have been dropped. Those names have been dropped for roles for this movie. What roles they will play, we have no idea. But I think the possibilities are endless. I mean, they're all talented actors. At least 2 of them are. And I think they have, there's great roles for them. I personally can't think of who they could play.
Honestly, they could do a lot of variety of heroes. So there's a lot of B villains that they could possibly be, but I mean, I don't know. Like, top of my head, I'm blanking, sadly, but I had more thoughts on this.
We also have Margot Robbie. She's from Wolf of Wall Street. She played Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in that movie. She is also up for a role.
Yeah. I would pray Harley Quinn, if they didn't announce that
Harley Quinn will not be involved with this movie.
Or, I don't know, or maybe Killer Frost. But again, she said that's up and down right now. That they could add her or not.
Right.
But again, they could have a many possibility of string or just kind of low level villains. And again, Captain Boomerang and Deadshot alone. I mean, if they had Will Smith as Captain Boomerang, then I probably will like Captain Boomerang a lot more. But I think I just blew Tyler's mind.
I mean, and again, these actors, it could change. They may not even have anything to do with this film come next week. We don't want to say that, but that's just how this industry works. Yeah. So, leaving that topic, who would you cast these actors as? Knowing the Suicide Squad, knowing the people that will be involved with this movie character-wise, who would you cast these actors that are now up for roles? Who would you cast them? Let us know on our Facebook or Twitter or Tumblr. We'd love to hear from you guys. Let's talk about Arrow. this week.
The feels.
Just this week picks up where the season, premiere left off with that
Yes.
ending. It's the way it ended. This week just kind of covered the whole plot.
Well, honestly, what we could say is a tragedy.
Tragedy, yeah.
Among everyone else who saw the premiere, we all know if you stuck by the ending, the feels just exploded off the screen, and this is now the fallout repercussion on that, and we really got to tell you guys, just be drawn into this series because the season already is picking up in a very heavy and emotional feel,
Right.
and the action is nonstop. And we introduce a new villain, which is a little bit lesser, but I think is just written in to kind of fill in because he's not very well known in the comics.
I think so too. So leaving this, we kind of got to pick it up a little bit. We're just going to leave you with this question. Who do you think is the murderer? We're not telling you who was murdered. We're trying to stay spoiler-free for people who have not watched it or plan to watch at some point. Who do you think the murderer is? Let us know on Facebook. You know the drill. Moving on to Constantine. Zatanna and Swamp Thing have been rumored to, at some point, join the show.
Yes.
Now, Constantine premieres this week. We encourage you to check it out. It comes on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
7 o'clock.
Zatanna and Swamp Thing, they have been mentioned. They're big characters that are involved with Constantine. So
So because we are really nerdy and we know about Constantine a lot, I can tell you right now that to introduce Zatanna, maybe Dr. Fate, and then Swamp Thing in a Constantine movie would help a lot with a Justice League Dark because they are all members of Justice League Dark. So, something to look forward to, guys.
Definitely. We're going to briefly, or well, at least quickly, touch base on Flash. This week brought it. I mean, the second episode was great.
It brought it. It
really did.
What we could see with Barry's powers, developing his character, and especially in the future, little hiccups that he has, keeping up his metabolism is really funny.
So we see more of the personal issues with Barry.
Yeah.
It's so great. And Multiplex, the villain this week, it's great.
And the effects on him alone were, of course, you could tell television effects, and they were pretty brought up to as best they could be. And yes, it's a television show, people. We have to understand that. But the fight scenes are amazing, and it's pretty interesting to see how Barry could fight a lot of people all at once, and then knowing his weaknesses and strengths of how he could take down villains. So, I mean, good on the show. It's picking up a very good start. I can't wait to see more.
And the ending is still keeping us, hooked in. Make sure you catch Flash. It comes on Tuesdays, and Arrow that comes on Wednesdays, and they're both on the CW.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's jump on over to Marvel. Marvel definitely has a lot of news this week. As always, they bring it. First topic, Doctor Strange. We're on the casting hunt to find the perfect Sorcerer Supreme. Now, we started out, there was an article that came out on IGN and MovieWeb.com mentioning that there were 6 actors that were lined up for this role. Those actors range from Matthew McConaughey, Jake Gyllenhaal, Isaac, what was his name? I wrote his last name down.
It's Oscar Isaacs.
Isaacs, I'm sorry.
Oscar Isaacs. He was in Llewyn Dreyfus, and he's also in the new Star Wars, so I really don't think he'd be even remotely scheduled to even try and do another
Alright,
hero.
so that's Oscar Isaacs. I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's alright.
Ewan McGregor, Jared Leto, and Ethan Hawke. Now, we mentioned Ethan Hawke was, he was up for it, and then Jared Leto has been up for it ever since the beginning, since I started searching. Now they have narrowed it down to 3 actors, and these 3 actors weren't even in the 6 actor lineup. It's Benedict Cumberbatch, Keanu Reeves, and Colin Farrell. I think all 3 of these choices are very interesting.
My money's on Sherlock.
Yeah, I think Benedict could do it as well as Colin Farrell. I don't have much to say about Keanu Reeves, but that's okay.
You can say whoa, and that's pretty much how you can sum up Keanu Reeves.
Definitely.
But actually, Colin Farrell would be really interesting. So
yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes open for who will be playing the role. Who would you guys like to see as Doctor Strange? Please let us know. We'd like to hear what you guys think. Let's talk about Ant-Man. Paul Rudd actually helped with the rewrite of the script for they had to rewrite since Edgar Wright left. Now Adam McKay has picked up the role or the helm of directing. Right?
The rewriting, of course.
Oh, the rewriting. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's all right. And the thing with Adam McKay is that he also helped with, Talladega Nights and Anchorman. So they could add a little bit more of the comedic flow into it, which is really what Ant-Man should be about as well.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't wait to see what they could have done with that.
Yeah, so Paul Rudd and Adam McKay working together to rewrite the script. I can't wait to see something. New York Comic Con screened some footage actually of Ant-Man with Age of Ultron last week. I'm assuming that it's the same footage from San Diego Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't know anything about it yet. So
And nothing's been leaked. So people who are listening who have been there, please leak. We're desperate to see any kind of footage or anything.
So yeah, let's talk about. There's also a little bit more Ant-Man news. T.I., yes, the rapper T.I. was seen on set of Ant-Man, so I'm assuming he has a role in this movie.
Or he was just telling Paul Rudd, you can have whatever you like.
Get out. My theory is that many of you know T.I. was in jail, so maybe he'll be playing Paul Rudd's prison mate in the movie.
The face I have for this.
Yeah, that's
that situation.
That's my face. So yeah, that's our Ant-Man news. Not too much. So let's talk about Captain America 3. To me, I was really excited to read this news. This is a little bit just kind of discussing more of the future of what we can expect for this third movie. Captain America 3, alright? So we know Iron Man 4 is very unlikely to happen, right? But Robert Downey Jr. reassured the fans that Tony Stark may be making appearances in other hero movies rather than his own.
Which makes a lot more sense. I mean, if he, air quote, retired in Iron Man 3, he just might have retired the character of being Iron Man.
Right.
Rather than him just being, Tony Stark. So we could see him being Tony Stark in a number of films would be really exciting to see.
Right. So Tony Stark has been confirmed as the antagonist for Captain America 3.
Antagonist? Really?
Yes,
I
the antagonist.
Yeah.
A little bit of English.
Okay, I know it's the villain or the. I know what antagonist means. I was just shocked to hear it.
That's what it said, antagonist. I don't use big words often, but when I do, I use them wisely. I drink Dos Equis. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Tony Stark will be the antagonist in Captain America 3. Now, this brings about a lot of speculation. We're thinking that this means Civil War. Hopefully. Automatically. I mean, Captain America, Tony Stark, they're at each other's throats during this.
And they weren't best friends in the first place. And of course we saw that in a little bit of Avengers, see them kind of vaguely. And maybe we could see the friendship break in Avengers 2.
Right.
And
I think all of the Avengers are really going to turn on each other, especially Tony.
Because he does create Ultron,
right.
And they might blame him for that, of how it goes wrong. I mean, we could see him just completely break or whatever, but I can't wait to see what they could pull.
Definitely. So this could mean Civil War storyline as well as the Fallen Sun storyline.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping that maybe they'll just merge them together. I think they could effectively use that.
Yeah, because just a quick moment, I can say that right after Civil War, Fallen Sun takes immediate release, and that's exactly what happens is, not to spoil too much, but a big event happens which causes Bucky to become Captain America. So we might see Civil War happen, and then right off the bat, we could see Bucky in the movie with becoming Captain America.
And we know Crossbones will probably be coming back if you guys watch Winter Soldier. So we also got introduced to Crossbones. So all the more reason, honestly. All right, let's talk X-Men Apocalypse. Okay, we have casting news, possible casting news. Tom Hardy, man, he's working both DC and Marvel right now. Tom Hardy is rumored for Apocalypse to play the Apocalypse.
He could play a big role. We've seen him in Bane. I mean, I know some of it makes fun of his voice, but he was a very demanding character when he needed to be, and he was massive. To just on screen, we saw the muscles bulging, but then we also saw how he could just be like a monumental, like
he's menacing,
colossal.
He's very menacing.
Yeah, he's awesome. And I would love to see that as the new Apocalypse that we could see. Too.
I mean, seeing movies that Tom Hardy has been in, like Bronson, and as Bane, of course, and he was also in Star Trek, one of the Star Trek movies. So, I mean, I know we all know what he's capable of, and I couldn't imagine anyone else playing the role. Honestly, I really wasn't even sure who could play it, and then this got announced, and I'm really hoping that they cast him.
Yeah.
So we want to know how you guys feel about this. Please just let us know. And let's talk about Gambit real quick. So as we know, Channing Tatum has been cast as Gambit. He will make his appearance in X-Men Apocalypse. We will see what his character, what he's capable of, and just hopefully interaction between him and the X-Men. We don't know if he'll join the X-Men or if he'll just have a cameo. And then Channing Tatum announced that after X-Men Apocalypse, Gambit will have his solo film. But it's not going to be like your typical superhero film, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently they're going to focus more on his origin, what leads Remy LeBeau to becoming Gambit. So we're not really sure what that entails. Hopefully it'll mean good things, not bad. I think Channing Tatum is a pretty good choice for the role.
Yeah, and he actually has Louisiana roots, so
Yeah.
I mean, he could pull on that Louisiana accent that we all love. So.
All right, well, that's our Marvel and DC news. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed reading about it and talking about it. I'm personally really excited on what we can expect. Let's talk about movies this week. We got 4 movies coming out this week that you guys should
Really
check.
three. Really,
It's another. There's one we shouldn't even mention, but we got 3 out of the 4 movies we recommend you check out. If you want to check out the other one, go ahead, your funeral. So we got Book of Life coming out. This is more of it's a kids movie, but it's from DreamWorks.
Yeah, and Guillermo del Toro actually helped with this film, and the artwork is astounding. The animation is beautiful. If you want to go to see like one of the best animated films this year, and that's saying a lot, but I truly believe it. Go see this film, and it's a visually beautiful. The scripting is up and down a lot. You can kind of predict some of the scripting, kind of where the story might go, but it's a very good story to tell, and the animation just pulls through for the film, honestly.
Awesome, yeah. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a really good review. What was it, like 76?
Yeah, it was. It went from 76 to 79 on opening day.
So it's certified. It's not certified fresh, but it's 76, 79% fresh. So
Yes.
It's bound to be pretty good. Next we have Fury. Now we've already mentioned Fury before, and so you know that the cast is very it's pretty star-studded. We got Brad Pitt, we got Logan Lerman, we got Michael Pena,
Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
and we got Shane from Walking Dead. I'm blanking on his name. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, very very gritty, kind of funny tailing, because you got a lot of funny guys on playing like war heroes, but basically like. The story is they get stranded and they have to fight off 500 Nazis with a single tank of the ammunition they have left. Otherwise, the Allies cannot advance.
And Logan Lerman's character, he's like new.
Yeah, he's the new young man.
He's the new recruit, so he's having to face the the fear of having to kill people.
Yeah, he's dealing with a lot of like first on hand like soldier moments, and it's War Daddy played by Brad Pitt, who of course is named War Daddy. But he has to deal with training his new cadet, but also trying to keep his men together and focused and survive the new entailing of 500 Nazis coming on them. And it's gritty. It has a little bit of comedic twist on it, but it's not so much as like a dramedy. But it's just like the scripting is well done to bring in some comedy in.
All right, so yeah, Fury actually got
87% certified fresh.
Nice. So
pretty
check
good.
it out, guys. It comes out today as well as Book of Life. And then we got Birdman. Now, Birdman we've also mentioned before. This is Michael Keaton, Emma Stone, Zach Galifianakis.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton,
yes, yeah. And Edward Norton, and oh my God, he is phenomenal. Like, I've not been his biggest fan, but in this movie, he surpasses everybody. But I want to say he works so much well with Keaton and Zach Galifianakis. Like, those just conversations between all of them work so well. The scripting is beautiful. Visually, it's a little twisted and a little dynamic of how they show the inside of an actor's mind.
Think Black Swan.
A little bit, yeah. Of how he's, of how Michael Keaton's rebuilding his character from being an iconic character that everyone sees him and wants to build himself as a new person. Which we could, I guess, any kind of like superhero, like Robert Downey Jr., everyone sees him as Tony Stark, but he wants to branch out more. I mean, look at The Judge. Yeah. And we can see that for Keaton of how like deconstructive that can actually be for an actor to be portrayed as one person or identified as one role that they know. So it's visually beautiful. I give it a chance. I actually know it's worth every penny. Give it your money.
And it's gotten 90% certified fresh.
93 certified % fresh after opening day. So
definitely go check it out, guys. And then we have the best. It's called Best of Me.
It's not
really,
the best of anything.
It's a really crappy Nicholas Sparks movie following Addicted from last week.
It's 7% rotten, if that gives you
And
any
it's now
intel.
been deemed the worst movie of all time next to Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill. So
But it's,
definitely take our word when we say don't go see it.
if you are a rom-com fan, and if you girls just want to drone yourselves to some mindless babble of love, oh, we're not together anymore, but we'll be together by the end of the movie, then if you want to know that kind of droll, then please spend your money.
Go for it. So yeah, that's your movies this week, guys. You got Book of Life, you got Fury, you got Birdman, and you got Best of Me. Now 3 of the 4 of those movies are good. You already know which ones they are. So check them out. Now we're going to talk about our 2 TV shows this week. We got American Horror Story Freak Show, and then we have the season premiere of Walking Dead.
My God.
Which, oh my gosh, it came back. It actually broke a record for most viewers. I want to say it was like 152 million. Don't quote me on that. It was a lot of viewers, either way. So let's go ahead and start with Freak Show, Steven. I have not watched Freak Show yet. I watched a little bit of it, but I wasn't able to finish it. So Steven's going to take it.
Alright, so basically, this kicks off a little bit stronger than the pilot, believe it or not. I mean, the beginning kind of drags, but it introduces new characters.
Right,
that
Angela Bassett, Michael Chiklis.
Mm-hmm. And we can get really into their characters. We get to know a little bit of their past, but know a little bit of mystery behind of what's going on, of why they really want to be there. Their intentions are a little shadowy, and you can already tell off the bat Lobster Boy is not having it, and it's a little bit of an espionage kind of thrill, because he wants him gone, but he can't leave. But they can't have Strongman leave because he's protecting them from the killer that's around the swamp, and it's so twisted, and and they have a plan to where something goes completely wrong, and it takes away one of the freaks. I cannot reveal too much, but the result of what happens is just heart-wrenching. It really tugs at your strings, because you already feel for the freaks, and I really feel bad calling them freaks because they really want to be seen as normal people. You see that really on the second episode of how normal they want to try and be, and it really hurts you. But you see Michael Chiklis either taking control of either trying to help them or trying to push them away. It's really confusing, but you really want to see how that happens later in episodes. And then you have the clown, Twisty, is mind-numbing, just going crazy, and it's frightening, it's eerie. I don't know how to handle that. But we get to see what his mask is entailing of. In the top part of his head is another person's scalp, people, and wrapped around his mouth is a plastic smiling face. And we see under his face, and I cannot tell you enough how grotesque it looks, but it's really cool and really intense. I suggest go watch it. This is picking up really well.
American Horror Story also comes on FX on Wednesdays. I believe it comes on at like 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. So definitely check it out, guys. Also, I want to mention American Horror Story is not a show you have to keep up with season by season. Each season is a different story. So you could start watching Freak Show right now and be perfectly caught up. Mm-hmm. I encourage you to watch the other seasons, though. They're really great. So let's talk about Walking Dead. Walking Dead came back. The wait,
with a bang.
The wait was so worth it, all right? Just the way the beginning starts out, it literally picks up right where 4 left off. With that end where they mess with the wrong people. We find out they really did mess with the wrong people.
It's awful. But we get to see the return of Carol and Tyrese. Man. And when I say return of Carol comes back with a motherfucking vengeance.
She
is badass. She takes... This is not even Walking Dead. This is called Carol. This is what that show entails. It's all about her kicking ass, taking names, and also we get to see the heartwarming reuniting of other people. Not to spoil too much of what happens during the episode, but I gotta tell you, if I'm telling you enough, it's going to tug at your heartstrings, but it's also going to lift you up and go screaming nuts.
Yeah, I was actually very stressed out during this episode because of just so many characters' lives were put on the line, and I was just so worried something was going to happen because you never know. Robert Kirkman has been doing crazy things with this show on killing characters, on keeping them alive. A lot of people are saying Carol's the next Andrea, and I don't know if that's in a good way or a bad way. I'm hoping it's in a good way because she was awesome this episode.
Yeah, great things are happening, especially, not to spoil, but no more spoilers here, but on the last scene, you have to watch after the credits. Apparently they're starting to do that now.
Yeah, from now on, guys, start watching after the credits because I didn't even know they did this. I didn't watch it. So I didn't watch. Well, I watched the episode, but I did not watch the after credits scene until later on.
Yes, and I would advise you all to watch it. It's beautiful.
So we're gonna leave you with this question. For those of you who watched, you'll know. How do you feel about Rick's decision? Do you think it's going to help the group, or do you think it's not a good choice? Let us know what you think. That's our TV segment. Walking Dead also comes on Sundays, and check it out, guys. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna move to a little. It's not really a new segment, but it's just something we're gonna. It's our personal recommendations for you guys. Things we think you should check out. We always recommend TV and movies for you guys to check out. This is just other shows, music. It's a variety of things. It'll always change every week.
So much for us not being opinionated, right, Tyler?
Oh well. Sorry. So yeah, one of the things I want to talk about, this is music-wise. I don't really know much about this artist. His name is Dylan Francis. Apparently he's like a DJ, but he is teamed up with Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco, and he just released a new song, and it's called Love in the Middle of a Firefight. I actually listened to that song today, and it's really good. I actually really like it.
It's a different sound from My Chemical Romance, of course.
Brandon Urie.
Sorry, not Brandon Urie. Not Brandon. Yeah. Sorry, so sorry. This is why I don't talk, guys. But actually, it's a very different sound. I listened to it on the way here because you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of new. It's odd. I ended up enjoying it, but I didn't feel all that like grooving into it too. It's odd.
It's a pretty good song. I mean, I like Brandon Urie. His voice is awesome. So yeah, check it out. It's called Love in the Middle of a Firefight, and that's by Dylan Francis featuring Brandon Urie. Speaking of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way has also started his own solo project, as well as Frank Iero, which was he was the bassist guitarist, either one. He was a part of My Chemical Romance. He was a very big part. But yeah, Gerard Way has his new solo project, which is called Gerard Way. And he has a song called No Shows, and it's actually a really great song. You should check it out. He just released his full album called Alienation. I haven't listened to the full album, but No Shows is a great song. Frank Iero, his band's called Frank Iero and the Collaboration. I've listened to like one of his songs, and I like both of the projects. They're great. So yeah, definitely check those out. A TV show you guys should check out. It's called Key and Peele. I'm sure you guys have heard of this show. Their skits are all over YouTube. You've heard of A.A. Ron. I mean, it's great. It's a pretty awesome show.
To everyone named A.A. Ron ever.
Yeah. So yeah, Key and Peele. They just started on their 4th season. It's hilarious. They have great skits. There's humor for everyone. They make fun of like pop culture things. So definitely check out Key and Peele. Moving back on to music, we got Fall Out Boy. We talked about their new single Centuries, right? So they just released their music video for the single Centuries, and I like the video. I'm normally a big fan of Fall Out Boy's videos, and this one is more of a David and Goliath type concept. You see Fall Out Boy in the like a Coliseum, Roman Coliseum. They're going against this big burly guy. They personally themselves cannot take them on by themselves, but they're each handed a little like string and a bag and a rock, and so they have to realize, okay, we can't take them on by ourselves, so we have to use our minds together. And of course, they are David and then Goliath, and they take him out. The weirdest thing about this video is at the end, Rick Ross, the rapper, shows up. Fall Out Boy is very...
It's not a Fall Out Boy music video without a rapper.
They do this a lot, you know. And My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, they have 2 Chainz in their video, so I don't really understand what they're doing with that. They also released a new song called Immortals. It's from Big Hero 6, Steven's favorite movie. This was written for the movie. It's actually a really good song, so check it out for sure.
I haven't listened to it. I'm not going to get dragged in on that.
And so yeah, that's our recommendations for this week. We're gonna try and do this every other podcast. We're not gonna do it every episode, but that's just a little thing to expect. And so the last thing I want to talk about. This is actually something me and my friend Sterling are actually starting in the local Nacogdoches, Lufkin area. My friend Sterling moved here. I actually met him once he moved here. His girlfriend's going to school, and so you know he's here working and stuff. But he wants to start a music scene here. For those of you who live in Nacogdoches or you know about the area, it's nothing but country music. And I personally cannot stand country music. I can't consider it real music. I've grown up with country music, so that's why I don't like it. So what we want to do is we want to start a music scene in this area, and the music variety it's a variety of music genres. We want to do pop punk, we want to do rap, we want to do alternative and metalcore, stuff like that. So if you guys have an act, or you know someone who does, let us know. We have a Facebook page called Nacogdoches Underground Music Scene. We have a Twitter page, and our handle is NAC Local Music. So yeah, just hit us up on there and let us know if you know someone or you yourself are a musical act, because we'd love to book you and bring you guys here. We want to get some good music going on. I mean, this is a college town, so we know that we can bring people together. We classify ourselves as a do-it-yourself underground music scene, meaning that we're going to put all of this on ourselves. It's non-profitable. We want to help other people with this as much as we can. So it's awesome. This is going to take place in Nacogdoches, Lufkin, and the surrounding areas. And all that I know is that hopefully we're going to have some shows going on in November. We've hopefully booked some people. Places to check out that we're going to have our venues at is Macklemore's on North Street, Nacogdoches or Texas Sports Bar and Grill. It's on South Street, and Libertyville, which is downtown. They do open mic night on Tuesdays, and so you can definitely catch us there. So yeah, that's all I can tell you right now. Go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter if you want to stay updated. We'd love to talk to you guys. And as always,
That's gonna wrap up another episode of Weekly Hype, isn't it?
yeah, guys, we really are tongue-tied right now because we had to rush a lot of stuff into this episode. Sorry about that. But yeah, as always, check us out on Facebook, please. We encourage you to
Check out our Twitter.
like our page. We now have a Twitter page. Yes, of course. Thank you, Steven.
The Weekly Hype.
Yes, The Weekly Hype. We had some issues with getting that together, but we now have our Twitter page. And for you guys, it is our handle is lowercase the THE and then Weekly Hype. So definitely check that out. Check out our other 5 episodes. We are now on YouTube. So definitely check us out on YouTube. We've run out of time on SoundCloud, so this is what we've resorted to. Let us know what you guys think about our podcast, please. We really encourage you guys to do that. We're in the early process of getting this podcast to, get launched until January once we really start working on it. And so we need as much criticism as we can. Constructive criticism, we don't care, guys. We just want to know what we can fix and what you guys like and don't like. So Please let us know. Answer our questions that we post. We really want to hear from you guys. It may sound dumb, but we want you to. So I'm Tyler Arnold.
I'm Steven Rodriguez.
And see you guys next time.